Welcome to Confident Leadership in Color. I'm Hanna Zaxmy. Just before this episode, I released a more personal bonus episode called 1 millimeter of courage is still courage. In that episode, I spoke quite directly to the part of us that may be longing for something more, but still comparing our first tiny step with someone else's visible leap. And I asked the question, what is your millimeter? What is the small, honest step in the direction of your longing? And in a way, this summer series I will start now is very close to the same place. But instead of rushing straight into action, we are going to create space for listening. Because sometimes before we know what the next small step is, the millimeter, we need to pause long enough to notice what is already moving within us. What is asking for attention, what has sparked joy, what is not ours to carry, what feels true, what deserves focus, what we already know but perhaps have not yet listened to. So this is the first episode in a short summer series called In Light Moment. These episodes are created to be a little shorter than usual, not because the topic is less important, but because the point is not to give you more to consume. The point is to give you one question to carry with you. On a walk, in the hammock, with your morning coffee, on a quiet summer evening, or in those few minutes when you finally have space to hear yourself think. So instead of listening for longer, I invite you to use the extra 10 minutes to reflect, journal, maybe pray, walk, breathe, or simply notice what is already moving within you. And today we begin with the question, what is asking for your attention right now? And as this episode is released, I'm actually on holiday, which feels very aligned with what I often speak about here in this podcast. The importance of pause, the importance of rest, the importance of creating empty spaces so that more color, joy, and life can return to our everyday leadership. And I will be honest with you, life as an entrepreneur has beautiful advantages. I am the one who can make many of the decisions. I can shape my calendar. I can choose how I want to build my work and my rhythm. But at the same time, I can also admit that sometimes it comes with a little bit of guilt, especially when I decide to take a longer holiday. Because somewhere in the back of my mind, a thought can appear. What if I miss an important assignment? What if an opportunity comes and I'm not available? What if stepping away means losing momentum? And when those thoughts appear, I need to remind myself for something. I also help other leaders to remember. If I want to be able to deliver long term, I need to last. Not only for this week, not only for the quarter, not only for the next assignment, but over time. And if I want to lead, create, coach, speak, serve, and build with energy, clarity, and joy over the long run, then rest is not luxury. Holiday is not a weakness. Recovery is not something I earn after I have done enough. It is part of the rhythm that makes sustainable leadership possible. So when I made the decision to take 10 weeks of holiday, yes, 10, and to do this with a very good conscience, this idea came to me. What if I create a small summer edition of the podcast? A mini-series connected to the Confident framework. Short reflections, one question at a time. Small pauses for your leadership palette. And here in Sweden, this is such a beautiful season for simply being. The light is here, the colors are here, the slower days are here. And I want to give myself time to let the day unfold a little more naturally, to let my thoughts fly freely, to not fill every space, to not turn every reflection into tasks. And right now, as this episode goes live, I am at a large summer conference here in Sweden that lasts for 7 days. So I will be living a bit of a camping life, spending time with friends, listening, reflecting, being inspired, and probably filling both myself and my notebook with thoughts, ideas, and moments I want to remember. For me, that is one of the beautiful ways to disconnect from the normal rhythm, to step out of the usual routines, and to land more fully in the here and now. And that is where I want to begin this series. Not with a big plan, not with a list of goals, not with a demand to figure everything out, but with a simple question. What is asking for your attention right now? Not what should you solve immediately, not what you should improve, not what should you turn into a strategy. Just what is asking for your attention right now. Because sometimes before we can move forward with clarity, we need to notice what is already there. Maybe it's a thought that keeps returning. Maybe it is a decision you have postponed. Maybe it is a relationship that needs care. Maybe it's a dream that has started to whisper again. Maybe it's tiredness, maybe it's joy, maybe it's grief, maybe it's a longing. Maybe it is something in your leadership, your work, your faith, your family, your body, or your inner life that has been quietly asking, will you notice me? And today, you do not have to do anything dramatic about it. You do not have to solve it. You do not have to share it. You do not have to turn it into an action plan. You are simply invited to notice, because noticing is often the first gentle step towards clarity. So here's today's in-light moment question. What is asking for my attention right now? And then let the answer come. Maybe it comes as words, maybe as a feeling, maybe as an image. Maybe it comes as silence first. That's okay too. You are not trying to force an answer. You are creating space for it. And here is my invitation for your extra 10 minutes today. Sit still or take a walk. Open a notebook, breathe, or simply look out of the window for a while. Or maybe simply lie down in the hammock and watch the clouds pass by in the sky. And then write down what seems to be asking for your attention right now. It can be one thing, it can be several things. Write them down without judging them. And then, this is important, you do not have to act on them today. You can just close the notebook. You can put it aside. You can let it rest. And perhaps after the holiday, after some space, after some more distance, you can return to it and ask, is this still important? Is this still relevant? Is this something I want to carry into the next season? Or was it simply something that needed to be noticed, acknowledged, and released? Because not everything that asks for attention needs immediately action. Sometimes it just needs a little light. This is the beginning of our summer series, In Light Moments, Hammock Reflections for your leadership palette. Short reflections to help you to pause, notice, and lead yourself with greater intention. One question at a time. So for today, carry this with you. What is asking for my attention right now? Thank you for listening to Confident Leadership in Color. Follow the podcast so you do not miss the next In Light moment. And as always, be confident, be you.